Hey network, how are you doing today? So this is the next week for the Avengers characters. Now they're introducing another character on their roster. They're done with Captain America. Now it's time to talk about the Hulk. Hulk smash, you know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, I probably shouldn't put that gif up there. It's inappropriate. Anyway, so now they are talking about the Hulk skills, how he can benefit the the team, and what his support, his ultimate, and the assault attacks, what they actually do to help the team out. So Vince Napoleon, I'm gonna get his name right one day, but he says the more you fight with Hulk, the more enraged he gets, and he's nearly unstoppable. And he said his attacks become more powerful, and the more damage he does, the more his innate regeneration takes effect. He also goes on to say, like, when you are using his temper to fight out and rage out, that sometimes you need to use it in small amounts, and then there's sometimes you just need to Hulk out and just go all out. And then he said there's times that you can use opponents as weapons. You can actually destroy the environment, pick up rocks, all kinds of things. So the Hulk is kind of turning out to be one of those good characters. So now they're talking about the support, assault, and the ultimate. As we already know, they all operate on one cooldown timer. You can only use one, and then the next one is able to be used after a certain amount of time. So anyway, so the first one of his heroics is a support, and it's called Bone Shaker. They says when Dr. Banner relinquishes control of the demon within, the result is the catastrophic Bone Shaker ability. He repeatedly slams his fist into the ground to taunt all the challengers. Hulk draws all nearby enemies' attention, aggro, and has become with inner rage that bolsters his defensive strength. Teammates who witness this show of aggression gain their own gameplay buff so they can jump into the fray and fight alongside their gamma-filled companion. So now my question is, okay, so if all these characters are having their own buffs and their own supports and whatnot, can you use them all at one time? If Captain America is using his support buff, and then Hulk uses his, and then Iron Man uses his, and everybody just use their buff at the same time, like, who's to say they're unstoppable at their point? Like, they'll become one of the most unstoppable forces. Like, there's some where their health regenerates. I think that's what Captain America's buff, like, their health just regenerate as the fight goes on. So now I'm wondering, like, what are the limitations of these supports, and what can you do to stop us from using them? It has to be some kind of challenge for us, right? So then you have Gamma Rush. That's when he runs really quickly. He's running through all things, running through enemies, and then if he like touches an enemy while he's running, he actually grabs that enemy, slams them on the ground, and creates a shockwave, and it stuns all enemies within the area. It's almost like when he slammed Loki into the ground. So that's kind of one of those like Easter egg type things, like they're using, just slam enemies into the ground. You could do that, which I don't see why you would slam like basic enemies into the ground. Like, they'll be dead. Literally, like there'll be nothing left. They should be liquefied after all that. So his heroic is when he uses his thunderclap. So the thunderclap, when he destroys the tanker, he just claps his hands together, creates a shockwave, and that's just like the end of everything in the way of that thunderclap. He also used it in the Incredible Hulk. If anybody remembers that, when he was fighting the Abomination, he tried to stop the flames from the helicopter. So yeah, that was another point of that. He has a rage mode, like God, like Kratos, at all times. And it gets more furious the more you fight, and the more he gets angry and he fights and becomes the actual Hulk that you want him to be. This game is looking good. I can't express how much I'm liking it. It's becoming a real RPG, and it's going to take the elements that we love about RPGs and put them in games. And I'm beginning to think like these enemies are gonna have like levels. So we may start off fighting enemies at level 1, but when you come back to that same mission later, they may have level 8s and 9s and 10s to make the game more challenging. So when Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics actually get this game in my hands and I can play the beta, I will most definitely tell you how it is. But I did post a Captain America video on Thursday. If you want to watch that, I will put an annotation on the screen right now so you can click on that. If you do want to watch all things Marvel Avengers, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button on this video. It does help out the channel a lot. But this time until next time, as always, network, you rule.